Stylish with Homestead. My name's Lori, and today I figured I'd bring y'all along while I plan my 2022 spring-summer garden. So as I plan for my garden, I always like to pull out all of my seeds, which I have a large seed container with probably a good bit of seeds. And I'll go through them and just see what I would like to plant. Then I go outside and I look at the space that I have. I know that I have 3 large garden beds that are 4 by 8. I also have a 2 by 6 foot garden bed that is actually, it's like it's a cloth type material. I found it at Tractor Supply, and I grabbed it thinking it would be interesting just to see what it does. I also have a bunch of cloth containers. I have 5-gallon buckets that I use. I also have some other miscellaneous pots that I use for flowers or small herbs or whatever. So after going through and seeing what I have, I figure I could probably do a pretty good garden this year. Now, different from last year. Last year, me and my little one planted a whole bunch of seeds, and I kind of let her go a little bit out of hand with it. And not a lot of those plants ended up surviving because we planted too many. So this year, I'm going to be a little bit more diligent about what I'm planting. So I also know that my last frost should be in mid-April. If you're planting your garden ahead of time and you're unsure of your last frost date, all you got to do is go on Google or wherever and just put in last frost date for your area, and you can find it. I actually go on 3 different sites just to get an idea because I am new to East Tennessee. I've only been here 2 growing seasons, so I want to make sure that I still have in my head when the last frost date is. But after last year, I also know that even if they say mid-April, May is really when I don't have to worry about last frost, or frost, I guess you could say. So, what I'm going to do is have a bunch of tomatoes. I love tomatoes. My little one also loves tomatoes. So, I'm going to have a few slicers. I'm going to do a mortgage lifter, Jubilee. This one's a new one for me. It's a bush steak hybrid. We're going to try this. And then I'm also going to do some Romas. I'm probably going to misspell this or missay this one. Salveritas Select. Yeah, I'm not good at saying those. An Opal. And then we're going to do a few cherry tomatoes. We're going to do a yellow pear, honeycomb hybrid, Berry's Crazy Cherry. They did not grow last year, and I was disappointed because I was looking forward to trying these. I've seen on a few other channels how well these have done, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting some of these to grow. And then a black cherry. Oh, and Amish paste and Brandywine yellow. I've decided that I'm going to put more energy into the paste and type tomatoes so that I can have some more to can. We do the cherry tomatoes so that I have something I can just easily go pick and eat fresh. And of course just the slicers to, again, eat fresh. But nothing is going to have an abundance of area in my garden. If for some reason the seeds just don't grow, the plant doesn't do good, it's coming out. Last year I kept trying to baby a whole bunch of plants and wasn't getting produce. This year I'm not doing that. I will just rip the plant out first. So I do know with tomatoes I need to start them about 6 weeks before my last frost date. So that means I need to start getting everything ready for that. That's one reason why I wanted to have an idea of how much space I had in my garden and how many I could probably do. I'm only going to plant 2 of each of these. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then if a plant dies, I'm just going to take a sucker from a plant that is doing well and just put it in that spot and go from there. So I know I have to start my tomatoes early. Another thing that I'm starting early is peppers. I really love growing peppers. Right now, I have overwintered 10 pepper plants, and it looks like 5 of them are still doing good. I may have lost the other 5, but I'm not getting rid of the plants until spring because they just might be hibernating and they may come back in spring. So if that's the case, I've got 10 plants already, and I'm counting those 10. But I'm also going to add in some other peppers. I'm going to do a habanada, a Chinese 5-color, which is a spicy pepper, and I actually like it. My husband probably would disagree, but I like it. And then I'm doing a Serrano chili pepper. Haven't grown these before. I just want to grow them and see how it goes. And that's another thing I like to do, is choose a few things that I haven't grown before and just grow it. See if I like it. If I do, great. If I don't, I won't grow it again, and I'll just find somebody who might like the seeds. So these have to be started anywhere between 8 and 12 weeks before my last frost. So my peppers are actually going to be started before my tomatoes. Another thing that I have to start early is the herbs. Herbs take a while to plant. I did not have that much success with a lot of my herbs last year, so I'm going to actually start them early and try to stagger how I do it, because I'm going to give them a few weeks to grow. If they're not growing within 2 weeks, then I'm going to try to replant it. That might be a bad thing to do, because I might wind up with a ton of some of my herbs, but I'd rather have a ton of it than not get any of it, which is what happened last year. I think I got herbs around August when I was really needing them sooner so that I could try to preserve them. So what I'm going to do this year is dill, which I got it to finally do, but I was already done doing my pickles, so I had bought the dill. This year I'm going to hopefully have fresh dill to pick in my pickles. I've got a few different basil plants that I'm trying. Let's see, there's another basil. I've got that one. I found this one, and I love dark plants. And this is a dark opal purple basil. Don't know what it tastes like. I'm just going to try it. If anything, I'm just doing it for the looks. And I think I thought I had another basil. Oh, yes. My Thai sweet basil. So I enjoy all of those. And then I have just a regular sweet basil. I have some oregano. And then I have 2 sages. Sorry, I had these in order before I started. I have just a simple regular sage, and then this pretty purple looking sage. I'm also going to do some rosemary, which actually did really good for me last year. And then some chives, some summer savory. We're going to try some spearmint, in which I have a strawberry mint that I had last year. It's still alive, so hopefully I can keep it going until spring so it comes back. And then I have thyme, 2 different thymes, and then some cilantro, and I'm going to do some chamomile. I haven't done chamomile. I'm going to try that one this year. So I know so my tomatoes and my peppers and my herbs, all have to be started before. But once it gets warm, and I'm not worried about plants getting frost or anything, then I will start doing other things actually in the garden, direct sowing. I'm going to do some pickling cucumbers. I will have some peas. Me and my little one enjoy going out and just walking out and grabbing some of those off. I'm going to do, it's a Tongues of Fire. It's really pretty. It's green with red. And they taste good too. And then I'm doing a Taiwan yard long bean. I actually thought last year I had planted one and I was like, oh, it didn't grow. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, there's a bean, and I pick it and I'm just pulling and pulling and pulling. And it was really long. That one bean made a meal, or a side dish I should say, for my family that day. And my little one enjoyed looking for the beans that was as long as her. So I'm going to do those again. And then of course just a simple Kentucky Wonder. I'm hoping to get enough of these so that I can can beans for next year. Alright, so then I'm going to my squashes. I have a red curry squash that I'm going to try again this year. I could not get this sucker to do for me last year. It would bloom. I'd get a small little fruit on it, and then either the rabbit, squirrel would come and get it. Lucky me. Alright, and then I'm going to do this white bush scallop squash. Tried it last year, found out that we really do like this little patty pan. Also doing just the normal yellow summer squash. And then we're going to do a gray zucchini, and I like that. I normally do the normal long green zucchinis, but this year I'm trying to be a little bit more picky about what I grow, so I'm not going to grow a whole bunch of everything. I'm going to grow what I know we like. And hopefully be able to store some things. Then, what I'm going to do is some melons. I have this Tommy apple melon. It's kind of like a cantaloupe type melon. And then a Kajari melon. I've tried for 2 years, or 2 seasons, to grow a Kajari melon. I can't get it to grow. I'm going to try one last time, and then I'm going to just give up, because I probably will be out of my seeds by that time, and I'm not going to get any more if I can't get them to grow. Which is kind of depressing, because I've heard they're really good. But and then, for show, I'm going to plant some of these teddy bear sunflowers and some Mexican sunflowers. I will probably also do some zinnias, and I have some dahlias that are in pots that I plan on putting back out. Hopefully, if everything goes well, I should be able to can my tomatoes, can my beans, make me some pickles for this for winter. I know this probably wasn't much, but this is what I plan on growing for my garden this year. So if you keep following me, maybe you can see how these plants go. My next video will hopefully be showing you just my simple little planting of the seeds. If y'all enjoyed this little video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can follow me through this season of my garden.